We are always looking for ways to make it easier for people to participate in work.
It was a thought bubble from Peter Dutton.
I just wish the government would get their lines together, because this is a policy worth thinking about.
That policy to allow people on JobSeeker to work more hours before they begin losing part of their payments.
The best way to get more people into work at the moment would actually be to raise the rate of JobSeeker, but we should also look at allowing people to keep more of the payment as they start to earn more.
Last week's budget did see a $40 bump to the payment, well short of the $200 a fortnight recommended by the government's own review.
To get them off JobSeeker is a far better outcome than them supplementing JobSeeker, which of course they're able to do right now.
At the moment, you can earn up to $150 a fortnight before your JobSeeker payment starts to drop from between 40 to 50 cents in the dollar, depending on your circumstances.
If you're a job seeker, you actually lose more of your income from work as that payment is reduced than people earning the top rate of personal income tax of 47 cents in the dollar.
And Peter Dutton wants to lift that threshold.
The proposal that we've put forward allows those people to work 5 or 10 hours a fortnight to get $150 or $300, depending on how much they're earning, into their pocket.
The issue here is, though, how do we get people into work? Clearly, employment services aren't working when you have an unemployment rate of just 3.5%, but you still have people looking to work.
The government's review also revealed the JobSeeker rate was so low it was actually a barrier to finding work.
They can't afford the bus fare to go into a job interview. They can't afford the clothes that they would need to present well at that job interview. And what that means is they find themselves falling further and further into poverty.
Welfare payments are always a balancing act, but experts say right now we've got it wrong.
There is always a concern about having a payment be too generous for job seekers, that people won't go out and find work. At the moment, the payment is clearly too low, and we need to reset that balance.
There's got to be a better way, doesn't there? I mean, you look at that, you earn $75 a week and you start to lose your unemployment benefit, which doesn't seem to be reasonable. I would have thought you could come up with a scheme whereby if you are currently unemployed on JobSeeker and you find yourself some work, maybe if you get a period of, say, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, and then slowly your JobSeeker disappears as your income goes up. Yep. And this is both ends of the pay scale. We ought to be doing this with pensioners as well. Yep. The pensioners can't go out and work and they lose their pension. So I just don't understand why we don't have an intelligent bipartisan conversation where everyone can agree that there's a better way to do this.
Yeah, I don't think the Labor government had to oppose this. Like, I think this is the kind of thing they could have worked with. But I do take the point that in the end, the rate of job seeker is the bigger barrier, right? So if you're allowed to work more hours without losing your job seeker, that's fine, but it doesn't help you if the job seeker is so low that you can't afford the petrol to get to your job or whatever, right? That's the main barrier. That's what the review said, and that's the bit the government hasn't fully acted a bit, but hasn't fully acted on. And so everything outside of that becomes window dressing.
It's crazy in this country that we've got a low level of unemployment, lowest in history, down around 3%, and still every shop window you walk past got a sign in it saying staff want.
That's why we've got low unemployment, though, because we've got a low skills shortage. So
migration will help a bit of that, but we've got to fix this issue, I reckon.
Yeah, agreed.